Hello everybody, my name is Elena. I'm a K-5 instructional coach in the state of Iowa, and this is Classroom Setup Part 2. You might be thinking you're an instructional coach, you don't have a classroom, or you might be thinking you're an instructional coach, what is that? To answer the first question, I don't really have a classroom because I don't have a roster, but I do have a room that's mine that has a lot of meetings held in it that I will still be working with students on a more one-to-one or small group basis, and I do still have a space that needs to get set up and put together. So that is what you are watching. I've already done a part 1 to it. It was a very short little 1 hour in my classroom where I went in and kind of organized, and I put together my calm down corner. So there's still some more organization that needs to happen. I need to go through some cupboards and figure out what got left in there and reorganize my things in there, because I moved from my special education classroom to my new instructional coach space. So I just moved my classroom in there, and some things I left behind. I didn't bring fully everything that I've ever owned for the classroom, but I do still have items that are mine that need to get organized, instructional materials, a lot of things in my room that are going to get passed out to teachers that there's a lot of organization that has to get done still. So that's what you're along for. And then I am going to do a little mini makeover. The room looked great from what the previous instructional coach left behind. She retired and left some of her decor, but there is some of it that I kind of want to tweak because it's just not my personal style. So yeah, that's what you're gonna watch today, and I'm gonna hopefully get all of that done. But first I have to teach a CPI class to other staff members in the school district. So CPI is what we use as a crisis intervention and prevention, as that's actually the main part of it. It's the de-escalation techniques that we use, and then if we have to, restraints that we use to keep people safe, but that's like last case scenario. Hope to not use it. But anyways, I am a certified trainer for that for our district, and in my special education role it was a lot more relevant to my position, and so that's why I got trained in this for the district, to train other admin and special education teachers and paraprofessionals. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm still serving in that role as well. I have a session of that this morning with another special education teacher in the district that we train together, and we'll train about 30 to 35 people this morning, I think is what's signed up for this session. And then I will have the afternoon to go and finish putting my classroom together. I am so hopeful that this is going to be the last day of it because I have coverage for my day. Today was originally supposed to be a full day of CPI, and then based on the numbers, we canceled the afternoon session and just made them all come in the morning. And yeah, now I have the afternoon to get this finished. And it was something I was stressing about because I was like, I'm gonna have to find coverage for my kids for another day so I can get into my classroom and get this done. And being a mom is my pride and joy. Like, I love working, I love my job, but being a mom is my number one priority. And I was really struggling with giving up another day and finding a babysitter again for another day for me to go in my classroom and give up a summer day with my kids. So I don't have to do that as long as I can get everything done this afternoon that I need to get done. So that's the goal, and hopefully this is part 2 and the last part of this classroom setup. But anyways, I'm gonna quit yapping and I'm gonna go inside and set up for teaching CPI, and then I will check back in with you when we are going to go to my classroom. Hello, training is done. I actually drove half hour across the metro to go to a learning store where I'm going to get the border and background paper. I want to get better than paper for my bulletin boards in my room. That's really all I'm looking for, is a border and a bulletin board paper, and so it should be pretty cheap this year for classroom setup. And then driving all the way back across town back to my school. But I was like, you know what, I have the time, I have the coverage for my kids, so I'm just gonna do all the driving around and go and do it, because there's really not a convenient time for me to come over to this area. I don't frequent this anyways, so I was gonna have to make the drive at some point. The only part is that I have to drive back over to my school, which I was already over in that area for training this morning, but whatever, it's fine, we're here. I'm excited to go look at the borders, so come with me and let's pick out some decor. Okay, I am here at school. I picked out the border and background that I want. I went back and forth a lot because I had this other fun, cute terrazzo pattern that was like all lighter pastel, leaning towards neutral colors that I really liked. But my goal for this space was to keep it a very adult learning space. And I went in with the idea that I was going to get this like tile background. They didn't have it. And what I saw it on Amazon, it was like $75. So I'm like, okay, I'm not paying for that because this roll was only $20 normally. But anyways, I went back and forth and I finally decided with what's already there, it made more sense to get the brick background because that's along more of the lines of the like the tile, the adult learning space, not so like cutesy, kid friendly, because that was my goal, is like, this is an adult learning space, Helena. So anyways, okay, that was my thought process. And then I just did a black background or border, because I'm just going to take the burlap off and I am going to leave the greenery that they put there. And I was like, okay, this goes better with it. If I'm going to keep the green border that they had on there of the leaves, then the black and the brick go better with that than with the terrazzo that I also had picked out. So, okay, there's my thought process. Let's go inside and actually start getting this done. Okay, you have to ignore these boxes because these are all curriculum things that are going to get sent out, but here's what it is right now. So the burlap and the parchment, butcher paper, whatever, is going away, but I'm going to keep the green. So I just need to take this down and replace with my stuff. I guess I am going to have to move some of the boxes to get to the border, but let's just knock it out.
Start of the night and I'm waiting to call you. Who's knocking on doors in the dark? I've been walking hours. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you smile. It's the start of the night and I'm waiting.
That took 20 minutes and I'm honestly obsessed with it. I am very glad I went in this direction and it goes well with what was already there, but is more my vibe and not as burlap and farmhousey, but still I can reuse that. There's still burlap making the PLC sign on it, so at some point I might redo that, but not a priority right now. So there is the data wall over there that also has the burlap border on it, so I'm just gonna go through and replace, but all those students, I'm gonna go see what I'm gonna replace off of this because the colors need to stay, but at least I'm gonna change out the border on it, but there's student pictures over there, so I won't show you that, but I am gonna go and take some time to switch that out.
Say I'll take it back, so I best refrain. The moment's coming soon on at the end of the day. Stay up in my brain. Stay up in my brain. Stay up in my brain. The moment's coming soon on at the end of the day.
Okay, taking that down was not on my plans today, but when I went and looked at it, it had black better than paper very behind all of the like different colors for the data, and I couldn't put a black border around it. Like that would have looked stupid. So then I texted my principal because I was like, well, these kids are gonna have to come down and get moved anyways because they're not in the right grade levels anymore. And so then I texted her and I was like, do you want me to just like save these or what do you want me to do? She was like, we can rethink, like we didn't use it as much last year, we can rethink how we do it moving forward. So I was like, you know what, I will be responsible for putting the categories back up there and we can re-talk about how we want to do it. So I just pulled the whole thing down and redid it. You can see on the very corners that my brick didn't go far enough, so my plan is to go and get some more either white. Actually, white would look best if I could get white and come through and just go fill it back in with white. And yeah, but for now, it's not that big of a deal. I still am really happy with how it turned out. So now with the time I have left, I'd like to leave in the next hour. I don't know if it's realistic to pull everything out of there or not, but I do want to reorganize some of the stuff that's out for me to use and just ignore that cabinet for now. So let's see what I can organize in the time we have. Okay, left. I said I was not gonna go through that closet, but then when I went to go put stuff away and do more decor, because I bought some like light things that are supposed to hang on these walls and some scones to go on the wall too, battery operated, I don't have what I need to be able to hang those up. I need to actually like drill a hole into the wall. So yeah, I'm gonna have to like either ask my husband to come and help me or ask a janitor to help me at some point, but I can't do that right now. So in order to organize this stuff and put some of it away, I am gonna have to just tear this all out, this cupboard, and try to reorganize it. So enjoy me trying to reorganize this as quickly as possible in the next hour while I'm here.
Come on, come with me. We're sipping on your water. Go chillin', cabana. Could roll like your nana. Cabella, come with you. We're singing like the morning. Break your heart in silence. Once the sun's out, so you gotta. It's the start of the night, and I'm waiting to call you. It's knocking on doors in the dark. I've been walking out. Been laid up on the news, now you're lying. The look up on your face, now you're smiling.
Okay, let's do a quick room tour while I have things mostly put away. There's still some like personalization that's gonna happen, a couple decor things to hang up that I don't have yet, but that's okay. Let's see what we have. I think this is as much as I'm gonna do until I'm back on contract. There's really no reason to come in here again until I'm like back for real, and I'm gonna enjoy the last 3 days with my kids. So let's look at the room. Remember, we're ignoring all of these boxes. I come in. I really need to ask about these binders. I'm not sure who or what they're used for, but hi, hello, there we are in the mirror. This was all left over from the previous coach. I will put this probably in the middle over there, I guess. Printer is here, Ram's cart. I want them to take this away. I don't know why there's an extra monitor here, but I put all of the magnetic letters here. I'm not really gonna explain everything in here, but I was able to reorganize this, and I actually know what's in here now. Took all those boxes out. They need to go to recycling. This is also all my stuff in here, but I previously put this in here and organized that. This was all left here by the previous coach. A lot of books and resources I probably need to use throughout the year. These are all curriculum things that are going away. This is the bulletin board that I redid and just replaced the backing and border on. Organized my space, cleared this off. This is actually a standing desk here, so it kind of looks like something that needs to get put away, but it's just a standing desk. These are the things that I still want to hang. I'm gonna put up those battery operated scones on either side of that bulletin board, and then I've got some like light things that you like, art gallery lights that you put up on the wall and then hang artwork underneath, but I'm not gonna hang artwork underneath. I'm gonna hang things that are like relevant to our practice and hopefully change out the stuff that's there, just because teachers are going to come and use the copy machine and printer and take the Rams card out. So I'm going to kind of, not a bulletin board, but like frame and hang stuff over there and change it out. This area I plan on putting my own personal pictures and personalization. Put my Iowa women's basketball / Caitlin posters back there. Not sure if the You Are Loved poster canvas is going to stay there, but that's there. I put this magnetic mountains border around my whiteboard. I kept the date there. Not sure if that's going to stay, but this is an entire conference room table for us to hold meetings in here. Once these books are out of the way, this will be more centered over here for people. This is my calming corner. I would like this to be a little bit more picked up and put together, but that's fine. Here's the bulletin board you already saw that I redid the backing on. And these I kept from the last instructional coach, told her I would use them, and then I was like, why did I do that? I can just get rid of them. I don't need them. So I think I'm gonna actually email out and say free, come and get them. So anyways, yeah, and then here's the fridges, and this is now all open because I was able to put this stuff in the cupboards over there. So yeah. Okay, so not as an exciting of a classroom setup as I've had in the past, since I don't have like a classroom that people are going to actually, like, kids are going to be coming to. I don't have a roster of kids because I'm now working with students through the entire building, but that is okay. I'm really excited for the school year. I'm excited to add the last few personal touches of stuff that I have here, but that's all I got for you. I know it's not like the end of my decorating, but I don't think there's enough left. There's just like small things that have to get done. Probably not worth doing a separate video on. So I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe so that you can see my next videos, future videos, and you can see how this finally comes together when the curriculum boxes are gone and I have my last final touches up here, and I will continue to take you through my journey as an instructional coach and give you tips and tricks along the way as I can. But with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. I'm a hometown hero, that's a fall that I came, but I never knew if it would fall into place. I became what I wanted.